Let's talk more now with Frankie Corrado. Wow, in the early going last night, Frankie felt like Canada might just steamroll the Swedes the way they look with that early goal. Instead, they needed Mitch Marner's OT winner to escape with the victory. So let's look at potential lineup changes, starting with Marner. Did you like how he looked alongside Connor McDavid on that top line?
Not particularly. I thought with that line, it was the Connor McDavid show, and he was just playing in fast forward. He was at a different speed, and it just felt like Mitch Marner, even Sam Reinhart for that matter, they weren't exactly at the same cadence at Connor McDavid, but I don't necessarily think that's a reason you change that lineup. And part of the reason why that is because the line with Crosby and McKinnon was really good. The third line with Marchand, Point, and Jarvis, I like that line maybe the most out of any line that played. They brought a lot to the table. So now if you are looking to make a lineup change and potentially move Mitch Marner away from Connor McDavid, you're asking one of your fourth line guys, maybe it's Travis Konechny, maybe it's Brandon Hagel, to go up and play with McDavid. I think if you're going to have players playing with Connor, you want guys that have built a little bit of continuity, a little bit of chemistry, because it's not easy to play with a guy that is playing that fast all the time and has the puck and has a different kind of cadence. So now Mitch Marner has one game under his belt. He understands a little bit about what it takes to play with a guy like Connor McDavid. I would rather see him build that up than take him off that line just to put someone else there and have them have a little bit of a feeling out process as far as how it is to play alongside Connor McDavid.
Well, how about goaltending? That was the biggest question mark coming into this tournament. Canada made it clear Jordan Binnington was the team starter, and this wasn't an open competition. It was his net. After his performance last night, do you think that they should stick with that plan, or should they consider a switch to Adin Hill?
You can call it a switch to Adin Hill, but I just see it as a free pass to give him a game in the net, and I'll tell you why. Because if Binnington was lights out yesterday, we would have said it's his net, don't even think about it. But it is a little bit of the best of both worlds here as far as seeing what your goaltenders have. Because you get the win. Yes, it's not a regulation win, so it's 2 points and not 3. But now you get a chance to throw Adin Hill in the net, and no one would bat an eyelash as to why you were doing it. No one would ask why. They'd say, well, there were a couple goals that went in, and you want to see what Adin Hill has now, and so you put him in against the Americans. If Adin Hill plays well, he can take the ball and run with it. If you go back to Jordan Binnington, you can trust that he will rebound well, because he rebounded well last night against Sweden. He made some big saves in overtime. Still think the mental strength is there for Jordan Binnington, but this is one of those situations where you could look at it and say, this is just a free look at Adin Hill, see what we have, and we still have options moving forward when it comes to the goaltending position.
All right, and then there's the blue line. One lineup change that is a lock will be replacing the injured Shea Theodore with Travis Sanheim. How do you think that move will affect Canada's back end?
Well, they're not going to have... Shea Theodore moves the puck so well, so efficiently, does a lot of things like that are hard but makes them look easy. And for Travis Sanheim, he's a very good player. He belongs on this team, but Shea Theodore is one of those guys that's just a little more efficient in everything he does. He really is one of the best Canadian defensemen. And so now you lose that player, you lose everything that comes with him, and Travis Sanheim is going to have to be into a situation where a little more is going to be asked of him. A little more is going to be asked of Josh Morrissey, and those guys can fill in. Like they're all there for a reason, but Shea Theodore is one of those guys that is, looked at just under what Cale Makar and Devon Taves would be bringing to the table. So it is a significant loss, but Canada's pretty deep on the back end. They should be able to weather it without Shea Theodore. And by the way, the Golden Knights did announce Theodore is week to week with the injury that he suffered last night. So unfortunate for him and for Team Canada, he is officially done for the tournament.